What's up, guys? Just Norris here today. Video is a little late. I promised a Q&A, so that is exactly what we're going to do. A lot of you guys left some questions, comments on my last video. I'm just going to go ahead and go through those real fast. It's the beginning of 2018, so hopefully you all had a good holiday. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all that. I know I did. I had a few things going on. Which is why this video is going to be a little late. In fact, my furnace went out last night, so I was a little cold, and that didn't happen. So, what we're going to do is just go through some different questions here, and that's going to be the video today. Now, my next video following this is probably going to be a training video. I'll update you with some tips or something like that. It'll be good though. It's probably going to be next week. I'm just going to plan on doing a video a week here just to get started. Not too much. Alright. Angelina. She says, thanks for getting on YouTube. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. How has your shoulder injury rehab been going? I'll answer that first. It's a multi-question. Well, the shoulder injury, basically what I went and did is I went and got scans done on my rotator cuff. They looked at all the attachments there. Everything was good, which led them to believe that it's going to be my labrum. The labrum's a really deep connective tissue in there, and they can't see it without doing an MRI. And basically they told me the only reason to do an MRI is if you're going to get surgery. So they asked, would I want surgery? And the answer to that was no. So I went ahead and just skipped the MRI and all that. Basically what I've been doing is just different stretches, variations, and I've been working in more inclined dumbbell work and things of that nature to try to strengthen it. So far it's been very slow rehab, but it has been getting better. I'd say a month ago I had a set of 10 at 315, which was awesome. That's what I was doing. Of course, that was like an all-out type deal. I definitely can't hit 4 sets of 10 like I used to, but I'm working back towards that. And I don't want to get surgery because that would put me out of squats. That would put me out of everything for probably a good 3 to 6 months based on how the rehab goes. So I don't want surgery unless I know I don't plan on doing anything for a long time. Alright, so that's basically that. 2, do you have any plans for the meet or federation you will compete in next? Yes, that's my next point is I do want to go compete at Raw Nationals this year. It's in Washington. So those of you guys that don't know, I do live in Idaho, so it's a really close trip for me, and a lot of times those trips do come down to money. I don't have a lot of money, so if I can find a close national meet that I can go to, I would like to. So that's kind of the plan. That's where my goal is to go compete there. Right now I'm trying to not, I have my back issues as well. Basically what's happening there is in my lower lumbar, kind of right there near the hips. My discs are completely degenerated. So it's a lot of just bone on bone, and any movement of those basically causes a ton of inflammation and a lot of pain for me. So training is very slow, and I'm just trying to watch that. But I'm doing the best I can. As long as I can stay healthy there, we should be able to do that. Next question for her. What are your thoughts on social media's impact on powerlifting? Do you think Facebook, Instagram, etc. has had an overall positive or negative role in the sport of powerlifting and its athletes? Yeah, I think it's very positive. I mean, powerlifting's grown, especially raw powerlifting has blown up these last few years, especially if you take a look at Raw Nationals, just the numbers. It continues to increase, and a lot of that's been due to social media. I think it's some cross between CrossFit and powerlifting. You get a lot of crossover there. And just that raw powerlifting is more of something that people can attain. Usually, I used to lift in single ply, and when people look at single ply lifting, they think of, oh, well, what is that squat suit? What is that bench shirt? You just look at all these different sets of gear, and it becomes really complicated and really complex where raw powerlifting, all you need is a belt. You don't need anything else really, or you don't need anything but a singlet, excuse me, and to go train. But if you want, you can get the knee sleeves, the wrist wraps, the belt, all that. It's a lot more easily attainable, and I think it's just more easily approached. Social media in that regard, I think, has done very well to promote the sport. So never a bad thing when it gets in the eyes of the masses. All right, next question. That was a long one. So next question. We'll do a few here since that was a long one. Alexis, since for the past 2 years you have a ton of setbacks, are you considering to use more belt? Yeah. So this last weekend actually on squats, my back was really inflamed and bothering me. I put the belt on and just hit some sets at 495. Now, most of you guys know I can train 585 without a belt just fine. But because of my back, because I'm trying to watch it, because I'm trying to stay healthy and keep training, the belt's likely going to be utilized a lot more. I think using it without the belt, for you guys that are training without the belt, is awesome for building your core strength and stability. I think of that as more of the foundation. Obviously, I think I probably train a little excessive with the weights without the belt, but that's just a challenge for me that I've enjoyed. So for you guys, you obviously don't have to go 495 without a belt. If you can and if you want to, great. But for all you guys that are asking about, well, should I train with or without a belt? Yeah, I think you should train out without a belt for a certain portion, just to help build that foundation, as I like to think of it, to build your core strength and your stability, because then once you pop that belt on, it's just that much more stability and rigidity you have. You can push off that belt with your abs, I guess, and create more abdominal pressure than you would without it. So it's got its benefits, and if you use it correctly. If you don't use it correctly, you might end up like me, and who knows. So Matthias, question: my lower back gets extremely stiff to a degree where it's painful to stand upright and bend forward after deadlift sits. Do you have any good mobility stretching or tips, especially for the lower back? Well, for you, Matthias, I would definitely say that is due to a lack of mobility. You're probably looking at mobility in your hamstrings and glutes. I don't have any really special stretches, but I know there's a ton online you can find. What I would say to you is definitely stretch more often, work on your mobility, because that's going to help you down the road. Foam roll, anything you can do to loosen up your glutes and hamstrings is probably going to let that pressure off your low back release. So obviously do that. If it's so bad you need to see a doctor, I'm not a doctor obviously, so I can't answer all your questions, but definitely go see one if you can. Arunas, we'll go through just a few quick ones. What's your diet and supplementation like? Well, my diet's pretty standard. Basically the days I work, I typically do keep it clean. I've been lacking lately just because I've been moving and a lot's been going on for me. But I do 3 to 4 meals a day of turkey and rice. It's very clean. It's very, what do you call it? Basic. I'm a basic bitch. And then supplementation. If you don't know, I am sponsored by Cage Muscle. I actually love their products, which is why I guess signed the paperwork to be sponsored, because if I didn't like the paperwork or I didn't like the supplements, there's no way I can really go represent them or vice versa. So I do use Cage. I like them a lot. Typically I only do protein pre-workout, and I get some extras in there like L-carnitine. They also have the clean burn out there, which is a thermogenic. But that's really it. Then also I find a fish oil and find a multi. That's pretty much the basics for me, and that's what I do. Some of you guys might get more into some other stuff, but that is, Cage doesn't have everything. So they have the L-carnitine, the Recage, which is protein, pre-caged, and then like the clean burn. So those are what I usually do. And then since they don't have a multivitamin, I got sorts that outwards, which there's really tons out there that do the job. It's the same with fish oil. Very basic supplement that you should all be taking, or I'd recommend taking. Nate says, Jesse, do you do carb cycling or intermittent fasting? I do intermittent fasting, not purposely, which is funny. But I've never been a breakfast person, so that's just been me all my life. So typically, I try to force myself to eat around noon, and then I'll get my calories in between noon and 7 o'clock. So I'm going a good, what is that, 17 hours a day where I'm not eating, you know. So intermittent fasting might not be the exact term for it, but it's close to that. I definitely don't do carb cycling, so not like that, but I would recommend trying to get 4 or 5 meals in a day. That way it's trying to bump up your metabolism, getting your body working. You'll feel a lot better that way because you're always getting a nice steady stream of calories. With the intermittent fasting, I've noticed just because you're taking in all these calories at once, it can really make you feel tired just because you just got all this shit in your stomach that your body's trying to feed on. It does work to an extent, but personally, if you can get the 4 to 5 meals in a day, I would recommend that over fasting. Alright, I'm looking for one more my buddy put. Vince. Yeah, Vince, I'm training Vince. I might as well answer a question for him. Is Jim Reaper's going to do another run of Phenom shirts? So Phenom shirts, I did a couple runs with them. They did alright. Some of you guys bought them, some of you didn't, and that's totally fine. Thank you guys that did, and thank you for the support. Down the road, we may or may not, I'm not sure, but we are working on knee sleeves right now. So that's kind of the big thing right now. And basically for any guys that train with me, if I could get you guys a shirt, I would love to. I just don't have a way of doing that right now that, you know, is, I guess, affordable. I'll talk to Jim Reapers about it. It's a great idea. So, thanks for bringing that up. And let's see. Can I do one more? What's the time on these? Oh, man, 12 minutes. I'm probably boring you guys. All right, last question. Let's see. Neil, you've always been a great supporter of mine on YouTube, so let's answer this. How about this dream matchup? Norris versus Callier, rule him at 220. Raw. I wish someone would put up the money to provide these guys motivation for these guys to compete against each other. His concept, winner gets $2,000. That's not really a question. But thanks. That would be a good idea. I don't know what Callier's total is. Obviously, he's a huge puller, which is awesome, but I don't think his squat and bench are super crazy. The guy that just beat my total, well, my wrapped total, I guess, unofficially, because I said it in just knee sleeves. Damn it. What's his name? Anyway, someone just beat my total in knee wraps that I set without knee wraps. Not to get pushy there, but fuck that. I wanna go get that total again. That's kind of my goal. So I'm not looking to compete really against anyone. It's mostly just trying to get that record back and kind of just claim, hey, you know what? I'm the best this weight class. And once I do that, once I hit my 2050. Maybe I'll bump up to 220s, and maybe you'll see that matchup down the road. I know 220 is a stacked class. It would be awesome if I could, you know, get up there and be healthy. But just with my back and my shoulder, how they are, it's really hard to do. So that's going to be it, guys. I appreciate you guys leaving the questions and comments below. If I didn't get to your question, don't get bummed out. Leave it for me again down in the comments below. And like always, let me know what you think. Hopefully you guys appreciate the video. I know I enjoy answering your questions and getting in touch. So that's going to be it, guys. Like always, let me know down below what you want to hear, what your questions are, And like I said, give me a week and I'll get that training video to you guys next time. Alright guys, take it easy.